Time for the morning rush. Authorities are still searching for a missing 5-year-old boy this morning. Officials say Mario Hernandez was last seen with his mother, who does not have custody of him. Her name is Nancy Flores. Mario was last seen wearing a red shirt, gray shorts with red stripes, and black shoes. If you know where they're at, you're asked to call authorities.
A National Guardsman involved in a deadly DWI crash will not remain behind bars until trial. Brandon Barber, a Cuba police officer and National Guardsman, is being charged with a vehicular homicide. Yesterday, prosecutors asked that he stay behind bars until trial, but the judge ruled that Barber be released to his parents and not be allowed to drive.
Southeastern New Mexico continues to lag behind in vaccination rates. Chavez, Lee, Eddy, Otero, Roosevelt, and DeBaca counties all have vaccination rates below this week's target of 40%. Moving into the green or turquoise tier is dependent on the positivity rate, case counts, and vaccination rates.
Metro Court will still conduct most of its hearings remotely for the time being. Court officials are reminding the public that most of the court business can be handled online or over the phone, adding that directions for joining court on Zoom are posted daily on the court's website. If you're scheduled for a hearing, but you're not sure if you need to show up in person, you can always call ahead. Erica.
Here's a look at the drop-off forecast for this morning. Temperatures are in the low 60s, so it's very mild out there. And it's going to be another hot day, so you shouldn't need too many warm layers for the morning commute.
Neighbors in one Albuquerque area are having mixed feelings about a new concrete plant that could be built in the southeast part of town. The plant would supply the materials to build the Orion Center, a satellite manufacturing facility near Gibson and Girard. Nearby Victory Hills Neighborhood Association is excited for the new development, saying noise should not be an issue.
A former employee at SANDIA Labs is awaiting sentencing after he admitted to using his lab-issued credit card to go on a personal shopping spree. Joshua Cordova pleaded guilty in federal court on Wednesday to charges of mail fraud and theft of federal funds. He admitted to racking up charges on lavish Amazon purchases. Investigators believe that Cordova spent more than $170,000 of lab money.
Drought conditions are affecting boating at New Mexico lakes, I should say. State parks officials say the low water levels at many of our state's lakes makes it dangerous to launch and load boats. Boat ramp closures are now in effect at Elephant Butte, Story Lake, Conchas Lake, among others. Hand launching of small crafts from the shoreline are still allowed.
With the help of some Bernalillo County deputies, a little bird is recovering this morning. BCSO responded to the call about a blue heron in distress at the ALAMEDA BOSQUE open space. Deputy Boyce Berry ventured into the brush with the pros from the Raptor rescue. He helped corral the injured heron into a box. That bird is now being treated at a rescue. Erica.
Here's a look at the Metro Threat Index for today. Moderate, because we are expecting afternoon thunderstorms with some heavy rain and some thunder and lightning possible. We'll mainly see those between about 12 and 4 o'clock.
Sports tournaments are coming back to Bernalillo County. This after the county moved into the turquoise reopening tier. The mayor announced the inaugural New Mexico Open Pickleball tournament yesterday. The city says they're working with other clubs to bring in more tournaments.
Looking ahead, Taos Air will resume flights soon. Taos Air suspended operations last fall because of the uncertain travel future caused by the pandemic. Well, direct flights to Dallas, Austin, Los Angeles, and San Diego will be offered starting on July 1st.
You can travel back in time to the age of the dinosaurs, all from the comfort of your home. The New Mexico Natural History and Science Museum is offering a field trip to the Tiny Titans exhibit. It highlights dinosaur babies and eggs. You can check out the Zoom event on Tuesday. For more details, go to our website, alwaysonkRQE.com.
Almost 31 million tax returns are still in limbo for processing from the IRS, delaying refunds for many Americans. Backlogs go back to filings from 2019, which the agency got behind on because of the pandemic. But now much of the backlog also consists of the 2020 returns. The holdup for this year is the returns being flagged because of issues related to tax changes and federal stimulus checks. Erica.
For a look at that morning drive. Here's a look at the maps, and we are clear on the roads. All green, no accidents or slowdowns to report. Here's a look at tracker going west on I-40 around the Big I, and we're moving right along there with nice clear skies.
And finally this morning, a local man is being praised for working at one of Albuquerque's most iconic restaurants for decades without taking a single sick day. General Manager Pete Villegas has been working at Frontier since he was a college student at UNM. He is finally retiring. The owners say Villegas played a huge role in the restaurant's success.
Welcome back. On this day in 1959, an F1 tornado hit in Eddy County. The tornado and some large hail damaged buildings, and 2 people drowned driving through a flooded arroyo. It's a good reminder that as we do get some thunderstorms in the forecast, not to drive through flooded roadways. Time now for the 5 facts.
And number 5, a local man is being praised for working at one of Albuquerque's most iconic restaurants for decades without taking a single sick day. General Manager Pete Villegas does it all the time, does everything at the Frontier restaurant. That's from washing dishes and bussing tables to even bagging tortillas. 71-year-old Villegas is now retiring and started working at the Frontier when he was a UNM student. The owners say that Villegas played a big role in the restaurant's success.
On to number 4 now. Baseball is back in Albuquerque this morning for the first time in more than a year. Several thousand fans were in attendance at the Topes opener last night. Die-hard fans were glad to be back at the ballpark for the first home game since before the start of the pandemic. The general manager says he expects even more fans to come out for the rest of the games this weekend and throughout the season as more people get word that the capacity is now higher.
And at number 3, storms are popping up this afternoon. We'll be seeing some of those during the early to mid-afternoon hours in Albuquerque. Then those storms will push east throughout the evening, and some could be strong or severe in the East Plains.
On to number 2 now. Authorities are searching for a missing 5-year-old boy this morning. Officials say Mario Hernandez was last seen with his mother, who does not have custody of him. Her name is Nancy Flores. Mario was last seen wearing a red shirt, gray shorts and with red stripes, and black shoes. If you know about their whereabouts, you ask to call authorities immediately.
And at number 1 this morning, today is the last day for students to take advantage of the Student Vaccination Week. The New Mexico Department of Health is now pushing for students to get signed up and to get vaccinated. APS is hoping to see more of their students get vaccinated. It's before summer and, more importantly, before next school year. Officials say that students getting the vaccination make it safer to return to the classroom and will eliminate the need to quarantine if a vaccinated student gets exposed. Right now, the vaccine is not required, but it will be added to their immunization records so staff can keep track of who's been vaccinated. Anyone under 18 must get parental consent to sign up.